Okie dokie. So, I'm doing another take of this because I feel like my first take wasn't the best it could have been. So, here is an article I should have covered a couple days ago. So, my bad, I'm very light, guys. I found this out just today, and I am a bit like, what the hell is going on, Australia? Wait a minute, and welcome. My name is Yuusha Anime, and welcome to a Yuusha Bulletin. And this time, back to Australia one more time, round the fence, after talking about the previous Senator Sterling Griff, who got shot down completely for trying to ban anime with an outrageous claim of trying to equate pictures with reality. And we all know how that went. It went down like a sheer sandwich. Sorry for my language, but we all know that is indeed the case. And in this one, I hope this is a gag article because this seems like such a waste of taxpayer money. But I'm going to go into the articles with you now just so you guys can be informed of this because it's so dumb to me. So guys, let's get into it. Australian Senate plans investigation into Fair Work Commission official for displaying erotic anime figures. Fair Work Commission Deputy President Gerard Boyce also previously installed office security camera without permission. So this is the guy right here who is being accused of breaking these rules with those figurines. Hot off the heels of South Australia Senate Sterling Griffith called out to the Australian Classification Board's rating for the anime content with sexual themes and other battlers blown over one's official anime figure collection. Fair Work Commission Deputy President Gerard Boyce received multiple complaints from staff for his anime figures displayed in his office that some described as scantily clad. Notice they didn't say nude or actually anything other than just scantily clad. Boyce has since removed his approximately 20 figure collection and later a security camera he installed in his office in Sydney after multiple complaints from his peers and senior staff. The issue was discussed at a Senate estimates hearing. Boyce was not present at the hearing. So they had a hearing. Whether he was invited to that hearing or not, I don't know. It just said that he wasn't there. Labour Senator Deborah O'Neill said that some of the filed complaints referred to the figurines as erotic. The senator questioned the appropriateness of Boyce's appointment based on his figure display. Liberal Senator James McGrath forewarned Senator O'Neill regarding her questioning, so he was informed that he was going to be questioned on those figures. The senator responded, I am here to stand up for women in the workplace who should not be exposed to this kind of gross intimidation. How is it intimidation when you have got your own collection? How is a collection supposed to intimidate someone? Unless you're a hunter. If you're a hunter, then I'd understand it being gross intimidation and you've got like massive deer heads and lion heads there. I get that. But and trying to claim that getting rid of somebody's collection for having statues, just a statue, is gross intimidation? I don't think does a person who has a rugby trophy collection, does he ever get accused of gross intimidation by flexing his muscles for winning those teams? No. What the hell is this? Like, stand up for women in the workplace. What has a statue got to do with women in the workplace? How can you even relate a freaking piece of plastic to a woman? It doesn't work. Logically, it doesn't work. Minister for Foreign Affairs, Marise Payne, echoed the sentiment, stating that any conduct in the workplace which demeans or disrespects women is completely unacceptable. Yes, if anybody disrespects women, yeah, that is unacceptable. I agree with that. But how is a statue being equated to conduct? That's not something he's done to them to personally insult them or literally touch them or anything. No, he never touched them anyway. By the sounds of it, you're just trying to mistake freaking conduct with a collection. Payne intends to discuss the issue with the Minister for Industrial Relations and Australian Attorney General Christian Porter. The Fair Work Commission's General Manager, Bernadette O'Neill, agreed that the figures were inappropriate and wasn't sure if some of the figures were topless. So, they're checking for the stupid stuff. They're checking for stupid stuff just to get rid of this guy for having, anime statues? Really? She did not describe the figures in detail other than to say that one was female and the other may not have been human. So, only one of them was a female character, and the others were not. And one of them might have been a monster. It could have been, I don't know, Godzilla. It could have been King Kong. It could have been Mothra. It could have been was it Gamora? King Gamora? I'm trying to remember. It's been a while since I've seen that Godzilla film. But, come on. So you're saying only one was a female character? Are you serious? And the rest weren't. So you just looked at the one and focused on that. If it was naked, I would understand. That would be a problem, because that's not safe for work. But scantily clad is a bit... It's too vague. I need to see the figure to actually know if it's not safe for work or not. Like, if he had to remove that one, I'm sure he'd be fine with that. I'm sure he would. Like, if it was actually not safe for work and it was deemed that way. O'Neill did not see the figures herself, but had seen photos of the figures, so she never saw it in person. She only saw it through a damn lens. My recollection was one of a female type figurine, and the other, I'm not sure is even human. I honestly can't recall the second one. So you can tell they didn't even look into the figures very well if the person who was in charge of looking at them only looks through a picture and can't even remember them. This is a piss poor investigation. Miss O'Neill said regarding the figures in the photos, Boyce allegedly crafted the figurines himself as a hobby. So, this guy has handmade them. How many people do you know that can hand make figurines? Name them. There's not a lot, is there? And that takes a lot of time and effort. So yeah, he has literally got a collection of all of the figurines that he has handmade. Anybody would want to be proud of that, wouldn't they? I mean, come on. I even made my own box years ago. It's god-awful, but I'm still proud that I was even able to make such a thing. Doesn't mean that I liked the way it looks. I'm just proud that I even was able to make something like that. This guy's handmade it. She was unsure if Boyce was cancelled regarding the surveillance camera and figurines and will respond to the Senate in the future. She did note that Boyce stated that the camera was fake or certainly not working and would remove it. This bit, I gotta admit, is one of a debatable one. On one end, you can say like he put up a real camera without informing anyone, and that would break the office rules. That I can understand if it's real. However, if it is fake, like Boyce has claimed, or not working, then that becomes a whole different thing. That could become a deterrent to avoid people from stealing one's property. Like, if you had your own personal property in your own office space, you want to make sure it's protected, right? Imagine if you went into your office and one thing was stolen. You'd be peeved. You'd be sad. You'd be angry. He's trying to deter people from stealing what he's created. Or maybe to stop people from taking it out unfairly because they knew they were trying to do that. So this guy may have already been on to these guys trying to get rid of them. And if that's the case, it's got to have been since Senator Sterling Griff, put out the thing about saying it was all exploitation of kids, despite them not being real and not realising the difference between reality and fiction. Okay, let's get back to the article. Labour Senator Tony Sheldon described Boyce's actions regarding the camera as horrendous breach of workplace standards at any workplace. And that's only if it's real. If it's real, then it would be a breach of workplace standards. That is true. But if it's not, that's another story. Tony Burks, Labour's industrial relations spokesman, said that Boyce's behaviour would undermine trust in the professionalism of the commission. Yeah, if it is real. And said he was the last person who should be an umpire over what's fair in the workplace. Hold on a minute. Just so you guys know, let me just go over to this article, which is by The Age. And just so you know, this guy, Senator Boyce, look, Mr. Boyce right here, a former barrister. This guy knows the laws of Australia. So if he is a well-respected person, which he seems to be because he's under a director, he should know the law like the back of his hand regarding the office place, since this is his area. So the guy must know the law. He can't be so dumb as to not put the statutes in and knowing that it wouldn't be inappropriate, surely. So For all we know, from this Labour senator, I don't know who's been in there longer or not. For all we know, I don't think he's been an umpire over what's fair in the workplace, because it sounds like they may have been arguing this for longer than I may have thought. Because if he knows law, and he's been doing it for 14 years practicing, mind you, employed 14 years ago by Australian Resources and Energy Group AMMA, an industry group, until 2006, when he became a barrister. So this guy has been a barrister for a long time. So he should know law. He should know everything to do with office place law because of the place that he's working at. So he knows what's allowed and what's not. So that's why he might have been keeping them in. But the camera, if it is real, then that's when it all falls apart. Government workplace insurance provider Comcare plans to begin a health and safety investigation. There you go, there's your tax money going Australia into an investigation over an anime figurine. Jesus. On the allegations of Boyce's behaviour. And this is where it gets a bit weird, because now it's going into behaviour rather than sticking to the whole point, which is what they were trying to say. Which was to be on the figures being inappropriate for the workplace. And now they're trying to say with the gross misconduct and that lot, to say if it's him personally, when they've started it off from it being his figures collection. If he has done actual inappropriate behaviour, like actual physical contact, or said horrible stuff and that lot, that's another story. But in this case, it's just dumb. Absolutely dumb. Waste of taxpayer money. Comcare Chief Executive Susan Weston told the Senate she plans to file a work, health and safety concern that will include an appointed investigator. They're talking like he's a murderer. They're talking like he's going to kill people. Really? Really? Usually you'd only call them if something was, I don't know, leaking gas in the building and people were falling sick. Or maybe there was something in the building that had it infested. No. Work, health, safety, and also if there was physical threats of violence or physical evidence that there have been people harmed. That's the only time you call them, and they're doing this over an anime figure, is what I'm getting from this entire thing. It's pathetic. Gerard Boyce was appointed to the Fair Work Commission in 2018. So he had already been a barrister for like 12 years prior. The Fair Work Commission is a government agency created in 2009 as an independent body tasked with enforcing the minimum wage, employment conditions, termination of employment, and other industrial regulations. And the irony, they're trying to get him terminated of employment from his workplace. So the place that he's working at is trying to terminate him based on having an anime figure. Absolutely pathetic. If that is the case. If it's over the camera, that's another story. But I don't think that should result in, well, getting fired. Because if you take into effect not the mitigating factors, you got to think he's trying to make sure his stuff is safe. And I get that. Anybody will want to make sure that their property is safe. And also, in this Age article, I found another bit that could lead to something that could be a bit more, gross in my opinion. But I don't know if it's true or not. I need to just make sure I can find it first. So let me just find it. Because in this article, oddly enough, it did mention Donald Trump. What the hell has Donald Trump got to do with this entire thing? Really? This is crazy. Asked whether Mr. Boyce also had a life-size cutout of United States President Donald Trump in his office, Miss O'Neill said his having such an object would be unhelpful and at the very least unwise. So this guy could have his own political viewpoint, as any normal person bloody would. And he's not putting it up there to scare people. He's just open about what he believes in. And usually if you do support someone like Donald Trump in this day and age as well, people, especially Australia, because they are more of the opposite leaning, although I believe recently they have more of a right-leaning government come into power. I don't know how true that is, so just bear with me on that one. I'm not all up to date with Australia. But if it is because of the anime figure and also because of this life-size cutout, if it does exist, and you see, at the very least, unwise. So the guy might not even be allowed to have his own viewpoint in the workplace, which I think would be a bit of an intrusion to human rights myself. But yeah, you shouldn't bring political stuff in the workplace at the same time. It's a difficult one, this one. But, I mean, really? Just a cutout. Like, I get it. Like, some people have cutouts of other political figures. Like, I've seen people who have had, not many of them, but I've seen people who have had political things of, like, I don't know, pictures with their favourite politician on their desk, or maybe even cutouts of other ones. I don't know, like not Donald Trump, Obama was one of them. There was loads of cutouts made of him. Nobody moaned about them, did they? Not like this, anyway. And if it's because of political viewpoint, that is actually gross misconduct as well, because that would be discrimination for a person's beliefs, which is not fair work, ironically, in the Fair Work Commissions. And now let's get to this other article right here. I'm not going to play the video, because I know that one will probably be, I don't know, probably copyrighted. So the key points, this is the bit that I want to round off on. Fair Work Commission Deputy President Jared Boyce had about 20 figurines in his office, Senate estimates heard. The figurines was anime-like, so they can't even confirm if they're anime, and scantily clad in, quotation marks, just because, we can't see them, so we can't make our own judgment. The hearing was told, and Mr. Boyce also had a camera in his office without telling staff. The only thing that I think is damning in this entire thing is this point here with the camera. If it's real, that's its own issue. If it's not, and it was fake to deter people from stealing his stuff, then that, I believe, should not result in punishment. So, let me see where that point was. Yeah, there we go. At least one of the figurines was of an anime Japanese animation character, and it was on display among the others in the office of the Commission's Deputy President, Jared Boyce. I don't know why these people have such a vendetta against this guy at the moment, because this just feels like a waste of time. Like, if all he had to do was take that one statue out to stop all of this, I'm sure he would have done it. And the guy must know law as well, Australian law in particular, since he's been a barrister for 12 years. So, why is this all happening? As I said before, I believe it's to do all with the case with Sterling Griff, but I can't confirm or deny that. I don't know how long this is going, and to be honest, I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this as well, because this just feels like a whole waste of money where they could be focusing this money on actual crime happening in Australia. Like actually stopping real criminals, minimalising the amount of deaths or something like that. Why aren't they doing this? Why are they focusing in such a privileged bit where they're moaning about one guy in an office? That's how you can tell these guys are privileged, is they're so afraid of a bloody anime statue. An anime statue! One. We can't even confirm if it's 10, 20. We can't. They've only said one they know is from a Japanese anime. And he seems to have made them himself, is what I've got from this article down here. So, he's handmade them, and he's proud that he's made them, is what I can gather from them. But at the same time, I just think there's more important things than moaning from a desk job about one guy who has an anime freaking statue that's made of plastic. There's more things you could be doing, like actually stopping more, workplace harassment or false sexual harassment charges in the workplace. Why aren't you focusing on them? You're focusing on a guy who owns a piece of plastic. Get over yourselves, you bloody babies. But anyway, that is it for me on this subject. I want to believe this is satire, but a part of me is telling me that it's probably not. So I want to hear what you guys think as well, because I think this whole idea is just redundantly ridiculous. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you want any more from me, and I shall see you in the next video. So, yeah, guys, I will most certainly see you next time. Just imagine getting kicked out of an office because you have a Harley Quinn figurine. Good God. Oh, dear.